Now we're on Daf Chav Ches Amud Beis, and we're studying a statement of Rav Masechet, excuse me. Maishna, why is Hallel, on the day that we recite Hallel, Hallel takes on a separate, unique status, and Dochi, the day, it's Doche, that mamad of Hallel, which is Shachris, Umaishna Musaf, the lo Dochi the day. The Mishnah says, Karu Musaf, Ein Mincha, that we're going to undermine and omit the mamados of Mincha, implying that there will be a mamad of Musaf. So what sense does that make? That when there's a Karu Musaf, there won't be a mamad at Mincha time. It should have said there won't be a mamad on Musaf. And the implication here is that with regard to Musaf, there is Mama. So the Gemara says, I don't understand your question. Amalei Rav Ashi, he's speaking to Rav Masechet. How could you tell me that as far as Karban Musaf, Hashtel Avdi Day, Dochi, it's Docha Mincha, which is not its own Karban, and the day Lo Kolshket, isn't it true that how much more so? It should be Docha the Mamad of Musaf itself. So therefore, your question of Maishna Musaf to Lav Dochi the day is not a question at all. The Mishnah didn't even feel compelled to mention that. Amar Leser Amar Kashisha responds to Rav Ashi. For sure, I never had a suffix as to whether or not Musaf is Docha its own Mamad. But Hachi Kaminalo, this is what I wanted to ask. Lo Lidchi Eladide, the Kar Musaf should only be Docha the Mamad of Musaf. Just like Hal is only Docha the Mamad of Shachris, why is it that the Kar Musaf is Docha not only its own Maimon of Musaf, but also the Maimon of Mincha? And the Gemara answers, Amar Le, so Rav Ashi says to Mar, Kshisha, Ika Rab Yossi, Dekai Kavasach. Rab Yossi, in fact, holds like you, that Musaf is Docha only the Maimon of Musaf, not the Maimon of Mincha. The sign you learned to the Brisa, Rab Yossi Omer, Kol Yom Sheyeshbo Musaf, Yeshbo Mamad. So Rab Yossi in this Brisa is a dissenting view. He's arguing against the Tanakama, which is Rabbi Akiva, the original opinion of Rabbi Akiva, who says that a day that has a Karban Musaf does not have Maimad in Ne'ilah, and how much more so it doesn't have Maimad in Musaf or in Mincha. And the Gemara now wants to clarify the words of Rabbi Yossi. Mama Demai, what Maimad are you talking about when you say it's a Yom Sheish Bo Musaf? Ile Mamamad de Shachris Hatanakama Nami Achikama. So it wouldn't make sense that Rabbi Yossi is arguing against Tanakama, because Tanakama agrees that Musaf is certainly Docha the Mamad. And the Masechet adds here another line here I wanted to share with you. He says, Umashma she'eno docha es hamamad shel shachris, el rak es hamamad shel musaf mincha une'ilah. So what is Rabbi Yossi arguing with? There's no argument. Ella, perhaps we should say the following, that you know what Rabbi Yossi had in mind? Mama de musaf, the Mammon of Musaf itself is not nidche, it's not pushed away. Why? Because Kar Musaf the day namilo dochi. The Kar Musaf is not doche its own maimon. And he says, this is an untenable position. Ella, perhaps, what he had in mind was on every day that has a Kar Musaf, there's maimon b'mincha. And then the question is, well, what about Karban Eitzim b'doch? He says, Pashat leGemara, Sha'af Rabbi Yossi Karban Eitzim Doche Es HaMamad Shel Mincha, Kevan Tu Samach Lo. So from the fact that Rabbi Yossi indicates that there's a maimed on every day that has musaf, even if there's a korban eitzim, so for sure we can know that he doesn't have in mind the maimed of mincha, because the maimed of mincha sometimes is mispatel. Efshar lomar shemamaro shel Rabbi Yossi kol yom sheyesh bo musaf yesh bo mamad osek rak b'maimed shel mincha sham musaf ein adochos over he kayam fu kayam liolam sheri pa'amim mamad ze nidche machmas korban eitzim behechrech yeshno mamad nosaf shekorban musaf ein adochos so alav dina ilah. It must be that what Rabbi Yossi had in mind is the maimed of Ne'ilah. That any day that has a korban musaf, there will be mamad in Ne'ilah. It's not batal at all. And Rav Ashi finishes off by saying, Shma Mina, we derive from the opinion of Rabbi Yossi with regard to a korban musaf, the day dachi, the lav the day lo dachi. The day dachi means it's afka, its own maimed, which means the maimed of Musa. But there's another maimed which is lav the day, and that's the maimed of mincha, if there's no korban eitzim, and the maimed of ne'ilah. And all those mamados will continue kayomim biyom sheyesh bo korban Musa. And that's what we saw in Mar Shisha Shmami. Gemara asks the following. It says in the Mishnah that there's no mamados on Rosh Chodesh Tevis, listening nami b'echad b'Nisan. Echad b'Nisan, Rosh Chodesh Nisan is also a candidate for total exclusion, an empty set of mamados. Lo hoyevo mamad b'nei sheyesh bo halel. It's Rosh Chodesh. The korban musaf, on a Rosh Chodesh we bring a korban musaf, the korban eitzim. Because we had before, Bnei Aruch and Yehuda would bring their korban eitzim on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Omar Rava, Zosomeres, from the fact that the Mishnah doesn't mention Echad ben Nisan, that it was bereft of all mamados, we prove from this that Halela de Rechiach Alav Doraisa, that the requirement of Halal on Rosh Chodesh is not a Torah requirement. And he points out here in the footnote, Ach the Aleph b'Teves hahalel nemar gam mishum Chanukah, not because of Rosh Chodesh, b'niskan al nes, b'kevish shetiknu anavim sheyomru halel al kol perek v'perek, b'nechshav keilu halel min haTorah ha'is. The Omer of Yochanan Mishum Reb Shimon ben Yotzadak Shmona Asar Yom B'Shana. There are 18 days in which a Yachid is Gomer ben Es HaHalel. In other words, even a Yachid could recite the entire Halel. The Elohim. What are these 18 days? Shmona Simei Achag, the 8 days of Sukkot. Shmona Simei Chanukah, the 8 days of Chanukah. Yontif Rishon Shel Pesach, Yontif Achron Shel Yontif Rishon Shel Pesach. Period. And Yontif Shel Atzeres, meaning Chag HaShavuos. Now, there are only 18 days because we don't have Yontif Sheni Shel Golius. Ubegola, where we have Yontif Sheni Shel Golius, v'esrim v'echad yom. Now we add another 3. 1 second, 19, 20, 21. We add another 3 days. Elohim Tishas Yimei Achag, right? We have now Simchas Torah to add. Shmonis Yimei Chanukah already we had already. Shnei Yom Rishon Shel Pesach, so that's Yom Tov Sheni, and Shnei Yom Tov Shel Atzeres. Now, how many we added? We added 1 day of Sukkot, 1 day of Pesach, and 1 day of Atzeres. 3 plus 18 is 21. Rav Ikel of Bavel. Chazina de Kokoru Halal Bereish Yarch. Rav came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, and lo and behold, they're reading Hallel in a shul on Rosh Chodesh. Sover Laf Sekin. We wanted to bang on the table and say, we don't read Kriyas Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. And therefore, again, according to some interpretations, Rav accused them of being Mosif Yontif Me'atzon. They're adding a whole new Yontif on their own, which I assume means a violation of Baal Tosef. However, in the note here, he adds another possibility that Rav's objection was not about adding Hallel to a day that doesn't require Hallel, but to making a bracha on reading the Hallel. Because Rav came in the middle came into the shul in the middle of Hallel, and he assumed by coming in the middle that they probably made a bracha on the Hallel. And that's why we wanted to be mafsik them, because we don't make a bracha on Hal, but be mafsik them means that they shouldn't add a bracha at the end of Hal. That would be a bracha of Atol. But Keva the Chazal to come at Al Gidilug, once he saw that they were reciting Hal, what we call Halel B'dilug, they were omitting certain paragraph psalms. Omar, he declared Shmamina Minag Avosayim B'Yadeim. If they had a chova, and that's how they had defined it, then they wouldn't be skipping over psalms. But the fact that they're saying a halb on Rosh Chodesh, that clearly indicates that it's Minag Avosayim B'Yadeim. Tana, we learned in the Brisa, Yochid lo yaschil. He should not begin Hal on Rosh Chodesh. V'im hischil, if he started Gomer, then he'll recite Hal B'dilug as they recite it in a tzibur. Okay, then, so this is where we're going to stop. And Amir Hashem, the balance of Chav Ches Amud Beis together with Chav Tes, we will be putting up on YU Torah, hopefully in the next short period of time. Take this opportunity. Thank you and wish you a wonderful Shabbos Parshas